When the mayfly emerges from its pupal case, it sits on top of the water and dries its wings. We imitate the mayfly with a dry fly that has its wings standing straight up. This pattern could also imitate a caddisfly or a stonefly when the adults return to the water to lay their eggs. I'm laying down a base of black thread on a number 14 dry hook. I'm going to be using some fibers from a brown hackle feather for the tail. The body on this one will be 2 peacock herls in a rope. The wing is cut from some duck quill, and the front hackle, which will be before and after the wing, is this dark dun stiff hackle. Pull off the fluffies from the bottom and clip that stem so that I can tie that in. So some fibers from this brown feather, hackle feather, about hook shank length. I like to twist my thread counterclockwise. That makes it spin, or I guess spin, go backwards towards my fingers when I wrap it. Kind of like a pinch wrap, but I think it's easier than a pinch wrap for me. I don't know what it is about pinch wraps. I have a hard time grabbing that with my fingers. Clip off that extra. I'm going to bring my thread only up a little past the half. I need quite a bit of space on the back, on the front end of that hook to tie in both the wing and that hackle. And then I'm going to spin counterclockwise again, grab the herl and tie that herl in back to the tail. Now I am going to make a rope with the herl, but on this particular pattern the wing gets tied in before the body is wrapped, so I will bring that thread back to create my rope. For the wing, I have these 2 pieces that I have cut from the quill, 2 different quills, so that they are so that when you put them together they spread. Line them up. The wing is the length from the back of the eye to the back of the bend of the hook, but I'm going to move that forward and tie that in towards the front of the hook. Again, wind my thread counterclockwise, and I'm going to do 2 loose wraps and then cinch those down. I did put the points of those quill facing down. Cinch that up. I'm going to grab the wings and pull them back and wrap in front to get them started to stand up. And then I'm going to grab the back ends of this quill and clip that all out. If I was tying this for display, I might want a little higher quality quill maybe. And maybe I should have had quills that were a little bit more white, but you get the idea. Take my thread now back to where the tail is, and I'm going to create a dubbing style loop. Wind that in, take my thread back up where I will tie off the body. Bring my herl down along that thread, and I'm going to grab the thread and the herl together with my dubbing pliers. I'm going to twist clockwise, creating a rope. The thread down the middle of the rope will make that herl stronger, less likely to break or be bitten off in the fishing process. By wrapping or by twisting it clockwise, then it doesn't come untwisted as I wrap the body. It's a pretty slim body, which is why I'm only using 2 of the herl. And then I'm going to come up and wrap behind that wing, tie it off there. And snip out the extra. My tail to stand up a little bit better. Then I'm taking this dark dun hackle. I'm going to split my wing, if I can do that. And lay that stem down between. Tie it in behind the wing, lift up my wing, come forward, tie it in front, and then I'm going to push that little stem up so I can cut it out. Then I'm going to take 2 wraps of that hackle right behind the wing. And then bring it up in front of the wing and take 2, 3, I think wraps is what I'm doing here, depending on how much I've left. That's why it's important to leave plenty of space behind the eye. And before I wrap in front of that hackle, I just take a pen and push everything back. Helps me grab that, and then I can get a good tie in on the front, a little bit of a head. Then I can lift that hackle out and clip it out of there. I'll whip finish and head cement to lock in the knot. Try when I whip finish not to grab any more fibers. If I grab some, that's okay. I can just do some cleanup. This pattern is from the Fling and Puterbaugh book, Basic Manual of Fly Tying, where the emphasis is not on tying patterns, but on imitating nature. And this pattern is a basic pattern. Pretty much any other of the Mayfly patterns use this basic technique, process, and they get different names depending on the... I like to try to poke out the eye there and make sure it doesn't have any cement in it. They get different names depending on the materials that they're tied in and who tied them and named them. So the adult Mayfly.